Before we start our Department of Peace presentation, and thank you all so much for coming on this gorgeous fall day. As you all know, our dear Inner Peace Director, Sally Peck, is no longer with us, and her funeral service is this Saturday. And I have a little sheet for you. Her memorial mass is at 12:30. I have the information here for you to take with where it is. And I'm going to begin with a little talk about Sally. Is Mary Power here? No. All right. Mary Power is a good friend of Sally's, and she wrote this and sent it on the internet about Sally. Mother, grandmother, sister, cousin, friend, merciful crusader against the death penalty, valiant worker for peace, jailbird for justice, servant, quiet heart of inner peace, servant, woman of faith, blessing to all who knew her, has gone home to the kingdom. When Father Jim Wright died 10 years ago, the visiting priest from St. Bonaventure invited us to share reflections on his life. Quoting Father Jim, Sally stood to her full tiny height and proclaimed, "For certain sure, there's a new saint in heaven today. Now for certain sure, Sally has joined him there." I thought that was so beautiful of Mary to come up with that. But the last thing Sally gave me, and she was very, very generous, she gave me this to share with the Citizens for Peace, and it's the book called Not in Our Name. Murder victims' families speak out against the death penalty. So when Sally's mother was brutally murdered by a mentally ill teenager in the neighborhood, her and her sister joined the group, Murder Victims' Families, and went all over the country lobbying to end the death penalty. And here she is right on the cover. She gave us this book to be part of our collections. We have quite a collection of materials. And then in the book, here's Sally and her sister when they were going around the country. I'm going to leave this out for you to look at. And Sally not only made the cover, but she has this quote in the book: "Where the death penalty is an option, the victim's family is apt to be drawn into the spirit of vengeance with the promise that an execution will give them closure. This prolongs their grief and pain through the years of court proceedings. We are grateful that Michigan does not have the death penalty and did not give us a sentence of prolonged grief or hold out a false promise that an execution would make it all better. Holding on to hate and vengeance will not help us heal. We are thankful that our mother raised us to believe in forgiveness, because if hatred had been added to our burden of pain, loss, grief after her brutal murder, it would have destroyed us. Sally was wise and kind, and we will miss her."